Okay, it's a beautiful day in the Poconos, February 6th, about 4 o'clock. It's about 50 degrees. Getting ready to go work on the motorhome. Just got the product in yesterday from the company on the EPDM roof coating. Want to work on this flare. The second motorhome we got to leave out west. And wanted to get the roof cleaned up. It has a rubber roof on it. The Admiral here has a metal roof, so we don't have to worry about that one. We're going to start scraping the sealant off the joints. Get it cleaned up, get resealed. This is the rear cap. You notice the white coating is all gone from the rubber roof. And if you look carefully, I peeled off a piece here, but you can see where someone had applied silicone here to try to seal up the cracks in this coating. This Dicor sealant that was put along the caps. Pretty much the only problem we have is the caps. And around the vents, there's a little bit of cracking. This skylight has some pretty serious cracking. There's evidence that it had been leaking underneath in the ceiling of the unit. So I'm going to start at the front, work my way back. Brought along a putty knife, a utility blade, a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and some sockets to see what I can do about cleaning this up. Let's start at the front here. You can see I started a little bit just picking with my finger. Found out it comes off pretty easily. We're just going to use the putty knife and kind of scrape away at it. And still very pliable, but it clearly had cracked and separated and was allowing water to get in, especially the contact to the metal had separated quite a bit. So I'm going to work on this for a while, and I'll talk to you soon. Now you can see I've worked my way along here and got some of the big chunks out, and I'm trying to peel off this last strip here, and then I'll try to tidy this up a little bit. But I found out that if you cut a slice kind of along the edge here, just like this, and then you kind of get a chunk of the sealant and pull it up, and you kind of work it like you're skinning a deer, you can get it pulled off and peeled up in one big old piece. And sometimes it works along on its own without needing to slice. It's adhered quite well, but it had cracks, and I just want to pull it all off and just make sure we don't have a problem down the road starting to crack elsewhere. You know, the cracks are going to start here as well. So let's just get this peeled up, and we'll reseal the whole thing. Okay, I'm at the back of the motorhome now, and it's getting dark, but I decided to take a try at peeling up the sealant off the back joint. There's not as much sealant here for sure, so maybe it'll go a little quicker. You can see here where it had been sealed up, there's a crack, and then there's the caulk that was put on top, and you can see how the water and dirt had gotten in the crack and gotten in underneath, and I'm sure have leaked down through. So I'm going to work at this, doing the same thing I did up in the front by kind of peeling this off, peeling it up and kind of cutting away at it to separate it from the rubber roof. And I'll get the bulk of it this way, and then I'll go ahead and slowly chip away at whatever's left. So let me keep after this, and I'll be back later. Okay, we forgot. Next step was to caulk around the vents. You know, nice and flexible yet. It's been about 4 days. Notice that it puckered the EPDM surface a little bit, but it looks like it's still going to seal well. So what I'm going to do now is pressure wash this, pressure washing, and get any loose white material off, and clean up the surface, and I'll hit it with a little bit of a cleaner as well, and then pressure wash that off. So here we go. Looks like it's cleaning it up pretty good. I'm going to shut the camera off and go ahead and do the rest. It gives you an idea of how it works. We'll let that soak a couple minutes, and then we'll spray her again with the high pressure, and it'll be done. Okay, I've got the roof all clean, masked off the edges, blew it off, swept it off, pressure washed it, made it nice and clean. Found out that I have a Alpha Systems roof, very thick. It's like warm peanut butter, but it lays on real nice and levels out real nice and gets nice and smooth. You can brush it and then let it sit a few minutes, and then it gets nice and smooths out real well. My wife's wearing a respirator, and I will too when I get done talking. Doesn't stink real bad, but we just want to make sure that we're safe. We wore them for doing the primer as well, the 2901 primer, and that seemed to be good and hard, and it's just a thin coat. but it'll create a barrier between the alpha roof and the new liquid rubber, so that there's no interaction between the components that causes the rubber roof to reverse polymerize. They said we're going to go ahead and finish edging this, and we'll be back when we get ready to start rolling. Okay, we're getting this trimmed right now, and what we've found is if you paint it horizontally along these edges and then drag it up, kind of takes the sags out of it and makes it a nice even coat. If you look down here, you can see that it's just leveling out rather nicely. It doesn't seem to be sagging down. Places like around the air conditioner, everything was sound underneath. We tested all that for leaks and found that that was okay. And you can see how nicely it's smoothing out around this vent. This other vent cap here, we've wrapped it around, and that's smoothing out nicely. So I'm going to let Kim go ahead and finish off the other side, and I'm going to go down and start mixing up the 4-gallon, bring that up here and start rolling. Okay, we've got it rolled out about halfway now. I found the best thing to do is dip the roller in the bucket. As long as it's not too windy, you're in pretty good shape. You can get a big blob, and you can kind of lay it on and do sections at a time. I'm putting it on quite thick. Going on like I said, hot peanut butter. Lays probably a little more nap than you need to get it to lay out, but if you look up where I've been, you can see it's flattening out very nicely. Okay, we're approximately 11 days since I did the coating. This is from the front of the vehicle. See that it leveled out pretty nicely. It's been sitting inside for the 11 days, and it's good and hard. So I think the old girl's going to last quite some time. I'm going to go around to the back, take a look at the back. Okay, here we are at the back. Here, wrinkled just a little bit here along this line. That seems to be settling out. It's just a bird from inside. A little bit of a wrinkle here. I kind of messed up there and didn't get it coated very well, but it's really nice and smooth and nice and thick and heavy. Coach is 99, so it's 13 years old now. I'm going to certainly make this roof last until the coach is done with its useful life. It will be put out in the bright sun out in the west. So I think we'll be in good shape. Worked out real well. Very pleased with how it looks compared to what it started out as.